welcome to another week of EP Kids Digital. I'm so glad that you have joined us because this week we are starting a brand new series. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool to travel up there to the moon or see the stars from outer space? I have. It would be the adventure of a lifetime. And you know what? Astronauts actually spend almost a lifetime training for the privilege of going to space. And for the next 5 weeks during 3-2-1 Blastoff, we are going to be training for an out of this world lifetime experience. So with the help of my buddy Chip, I'm going to be taking you through kind of a crazy training program. So Chip, why don't you introduce yourself?
Greetings, Space Cadets. My name is Computer Human Interface Project, but you can call me Chip. I am programmed to prepare you for Blastoff. When traveling through space, small alien creatures might try to attach themselves to your face. When this happens, it is important to stay calm. If you practice this on Earth, it will help you avoid disaster while in space.
Thanks, Chip. We have our first training mission. I'm gonna head outside and get it done. Come on, let's go. Okay, I'm ready for our first mission. Now, he said that there were aliens that would fly at us and attack our faces. So I'm prepared to train for this. I have got whipped cream that Mariah's gonna come put all over the top of this shower cap that's on my head. And then I have these lovely, very delicious aliens. They taste good. That are gonna fly at my face and try and get stuck in my whipped cream. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Okay, so only one alien managed to attach itself, or two, to my head. But we have successfully completed our first training mission and we are headed back inside.
Congratulations! You stayed calm in the face of trouble. This is an important skill to have. When traveling through space, you will face all kinds of troubles. Your next training mission is to discover what to do when those troubles occur. You will find instructions in the Ultimate Training Manual, the Bible. Look up James chapter 1, verses 2 through 5, then listen to the story from 2 Chronicles chapter 20 to complete the mission.
That first training mission was quite crazy. And now we have our second. Grab your Bible and look up James chapter 1, verses 2 through 5. Pause the video and then come on back when you've got it. All right, everybody ready? Here we go. My brothers and sisters, you will face all kinds of trouble. When you do, think of it as pure joy. Your faith will be tested. You know that when this happens, it will produce in you the strength to continue. You must allow this strength to finish its work. Then you will be all you should be. You will have everything that you need. If any of you needs wisdom, you should ask God for it. He will give it to you. God gives freely to everyone without finding fault. What do you guys think that means? I want you to really think about what could God be saying to you during those verses. So pause the video for a second, talk to mom and dad, talk to somebody sitting next to you, and figure out what you think those verses mean. And then we're going to take a look at the story of Jehoshaphat and see if that helps us understand any better. All right, pause the video, talk about it, and then come on back. So in the Bible, in the book of 2 Chronicles, in chapter 20, we meet King Jehoshaphat. And King Jehoshaphat is a king who loved and served God. And you know what? One day, King Jehoshaphat was sitting in his palace and some people came and they said, oh my goodness, King Jehoshaphat, trouble is coming. Look way over there. Look, there's a huge army coming to defeat you. Well, King Jehoshaphat, like any good space cadet, was cool under trouble, and he did not freak out. Instead, he decided he would pray and ask God for wisdom. And so he didn't pray by himself. He gathered all the people from all the towns of Judah, and everybody came together to meet and to pray. And when they got together, King Jehoshaphat prayed along with all the other people, and he said, God, we're in trouble. and you know that we're in trouble, and we know that we can't defeat this army on our own, but we know that you are in control and that you have the power to give us wisdom in how to handle this. While they were praying, one of the people heard from God, and he told the king, guess what, King? God says that we need to prepare for battle and we need to march out, but we are not going to have to fight. Well, that's kind of an interesting thought, but they decided, you know what, if we've heard from God, that's what we're going to do. So the next morning they get up and they march out to war. And as they're marching, the people of Judah are singing songs of praise to God. They're telling God how wonderful he is. They are saying, shouting big cheers and saying, God is always faithful. He is always there for us. And when they get to where they can see the other army, something incredible has happened. The other army has gone into chaos and they have killed each other and the army has been completely destroyed. Well, the people of Judah, they are cheering and they are shouting and they head back home, praising God for saving them.
Way to go. You have successfully completed your second training mission. When faced with trouble, the people of Judah asked God for wisdom. Instead of freaking out, they were filled with joy and sang songs of praise to God. Whenever you face trouble, you can do the same. If you ask God for wisdom and remain joyful in trouble, you will live long and prosper. Be sure to return next week for another training mission. Until then, don't you fret, Space Cadet.
I want you to pause right here for just a second, and I want you to think about what would have happened if the people of Judah had not asked God for wisdom. What would have happened then? And what do you think that this story and those verses in James teach us about God and about our own lives? So think about that for just a second. If you need to pause the video, do it, and then come on back because I want to show you something real quick. Okay, welcome back. Now I want you to think about something. If you lift weights, what happens to your muscles? Yeah, they get stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's the same way with your faith. When you encounter hard times and you choose to trust God and you see God work, your faith gets stronger and stronger and stronger because each time you encounter that trouble or any trouble, you see, hey, God's got this. God's with me. God is helping me. And you know what? Your faith gets stronger and stronger and stronger. But when you don't work out with weights, your muscles get weaker and weaker and weaker. And the same thing happens with our faith. When we don't encounter troubles and when we don't ask God for his wisdom or his help when we do, our faith can become weaker and weaker and weaker. In fact, our verse today tells us that when we face troubles, we should ask God to help us. It's James 1 verse 5. We read it earlier, but I'm going to read it to you again. It says, if any of you needs wisdom, you should ask God for it. He will give it to you. God gives freely to everyone and doesn't find fault. So when you're in trouble, ask God for help. In fact, I want you to pause right now as we finish this, and I want you to spend a minute and talk to God. Talk to him about an area that you need some wisdom. Maybe it's because you're having a problem with a family member. Maybe it's a friend that you have a problem with and you need some wisdom in how to handle this hard situation. Maybe it's that you're afraid of what school's going to look like next year, or afraid about something else, or just in a situation that feels really yucky. Ask God for wisdom and ask him to help you. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye.